Looking at this mic, you might be thinking it is a cover song video, but it's not. I'm sorry to disappoint. So, hi. I attempted NEET 2024.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine. You just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Spoiler alert, I did not make it. As everyone who was or is and will be any time of their life a NEET aspirant will know how lengthy the NEET syllabus is. And you there, before you come with your old typing speed with like, oh no, it's so easy, I scored like 698, 718 and all that nonsense, please keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear any of that. I don't want to know that I'm a loser over and over again. And also, my dad watches the video, so just agree with me that it is hard. As you might notice, I have been away from this YouTube for a very long time, and normally people be taking breaks and stuff, and then it's not like those 352 people actually were waiting for me, but I was preparing for these exams. The reason I'm making this video is out of spite. I spent 365 days, 10 to 12 hours a day, literally cut off everything that had anything to do with the word happiness. Happiness? What is it? What is it for a NEET aspirant? What is happiness? And after all the sacrifices, I still failed, and I still here am making a video instead of making something like, oh, I got into medical school. Oh, here's a vlog from AIMS New Delhi. I'm here making a tier list for the subjects that failed me. I did not fail the subjects. I studied, I did my best, and I worked as much as I could. The subjects failed me. So I thought, why not make a tier list of the subjects that still haunts me to this day. Normally what a student will do is like study again, take a drop year again, or move on with their life, or just go on about their day. But I am not brave like you. I am a hater. And when I don't get anything right, the only thing I do is hate on them. So this is what I'm doing for this video. I'm going to hate on NEET subjects, starting with, I loved the subject from the day I saw it. From the day I touched my book, I was like, you are meant for me and I am meant for you. I loved it. I loved every bit of it, every information on it. Give me anything, give me any zoology, and I was there eating that subject up. So I'm not going to say anything bad about the subject. I am just going to put it in a range where I'm like quite nice actually. If I had to rate it, I'm going to rate it an 11 out of 10. Because there's subjects, chef's kiss. Next up, organic chemistry. Exactly, boo. What is that subject? That subject, I call it a pathological liar. Okay, first up, if I'm saying any subject is worse, any subject is bad, I don't mean to bash on any teacher who taught me. The teachers that I had were best in their field, especially my organic sir. He was amazing. He was handsome. Should I say handsome, or is it inappropriate? Never mind. So he was great. I could solve any question in the class that sir was giving, and I thought it was just in my hand and I could do anything because my teacher was amazing. But whenever I go back and try to solve some previous year questions, I always feel like I never learned the subject. If anyone can relate, or maybe I'm just dumb, I just felt like organic chemistry was lying to me, acting like it was so easy and anyone could do it. And whenever I go there to my room and sit to write something and then solve some questions, I always end up blank. Like I cannot even try, I cannot even start to do the question, and I am already failing. So, liar who? I would rate organic chemistry that it is in the middle ground. You know, some people might love it, some people might hate it. Depends on if you can actually solve it. But for me, it's something I used to love. That's when my villain instinct came to rise, and that's when everything in my life stopped making sense. So organic chemistry is, yeah, like I said, on the middle ground. You hate it or you love it. Next up, why? Why do you need botany? I'm trying to get into medical school. I'm not trying to get into botany. If I wanted to get into botany, I would have taken BSc botany. If I was trying to learn about plants, I would have studied agriculture. I don't know, do we study about plants? Horticulture. But no, I'm trying to get into medical college, but botany. There is always a botany. How many times that I've written my exams, I always thought it was organic chemistry that was going to betray me at the end, but it was always botany. I always thought botany was in the okay, safer side, and then if you asked me in the beginning of my session, I would have said, oh, botany, pretty cool. But whenever, no matter how many times I study, no matter how many examples do I write and study, and how many previous year questions do I solve, I always end up with the most amount of negative marks from botany. And whenever I come off the exam hall, I'm pretty confident about botany, and I've studied and I've seen the diagrams and I've done it, but it always screws me over at the end. I'm just going to rate botany a 3 out of 10 if I have to give it a rating. And in the tier list, if I make one, I would say it's botany should get a jail time. Next subjects, physics. When I first got into studying for NEET, I was pretty much into physics. I always loved solving things. I always had a special place in my heart for the subject, because even though I thought I did not have it, I always somehow figure it out, and that was my whole perspective going into standard 11 and 12. And with years gone by, I kind of forgot how physics was, and I always thought I'll have a grip on it, and I always thought it will always make sense to me if I ever get back to it. In the first test, I scored a decent score. So decent doesn't mean it was like over the charts, 180 out of 180, 150. It wasn't like that. But as for me, an average student, I scored pretty well, pretty okay. And then I thought I had it, and I thought I was bombing the exam. I was bombing the subject, and I thought it was going to be my strength after zoology. So my concept was that I get hold of 2 subjects, and I'm going to work my ass off over the subject, and I'm going to get through it. But physics had another plan for me set up. As we went deeper into the subject, everything started falling off. I listen and I still don't understand. So in the next mock test, I scored a 4. A 4 out of 180. How can somebody score 4? Even if I just did some tukka, I could have gotten 10 at least. But I scored 4. And that time I was very sad and I was very depressed. So I went to my teacher and I said, sir, I thought I had it, but I don't think I got it. So what would you like to suggest so that I can get better in the subject? So my sir was pretty good. He was like, it's okay, it is just the first test, and then you're going to do great. You just keep on practicing, practice the previous year question, do your daily practice questions. He told me that I will get hang of it in a month, because it was just the beginning. So he said I will just get hang of it in few months. I never got hang of it. In fact, it just got worse. So I'm just going to tell physics that you left me. So I had no option but to put my physics into my EU category, and something that I would never go again to. In organic chemistry, The reason I hate chemistry is because of inorganic chemistry. What is this subject? What is inorganic chemistry? Why should we study inorganic chemistry? I mean, to me, it's just part of chemistry that just doesn't make sense. You go on preaching about how important organic chemistry is, but it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm a hater because I'm a loser. But you, why couldn't you score good in inorganic chemistry? What happened to your inorganic chemistry? So inorganic chemistry goes all the way to I would rather die than study this subject again. I am not ever going to go back to this subject again. I hate this subject. Next up is physical chemistry. So physical chemistry is a subject where if you are good in physics, you kind of understand physical chemistry. So it's not that difficult if you try. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I knew I would like it, and I was pretty okay with the physical chemistry. I think it was quite nice. I would like to put it into the category with zoology. I might not score very well, but it was quite interesting for me to study physical chemistry. It's just asking me simple questions regarding a little bit of physics and a little bit of chemistry, so it makes sense. This is what a subject should be like. It should make sense to the students, and it made sense to me. I am very biased when it comes to these subjects, and my opinion should not matter. If you are a NEET aspirant, go for it, and I'm really proud of you for everything that you are doing. If you are a dropper for another year, I am super proud of you, because I would never in a million years take another drop year, because I'm just too scared. And kudos to you, because that's something that we are very brave about it. Don't care what your neighbor auntie is saying. Don't care what Sharmaji Ki Beta is doing. You just do you, because you are your own person. And I know that one day you will become a great doctor, and your life will be a very amazing testimony to people. But for me, am I going to take another drop year? No. If I had to tell anything to the younger aspirants, I just want to say that give your best, so that you won't regret. I have no regret, because I studied a lot and I still couldn't make it, but I don't have any regrets because I at least tried. So don't take this video in any other way. I just hope whatever you do well, and I wish you success. Bye bye. Thank you for watching.